Hey everyone, welcome back to Natalie's Notebooks. My name is Natalie and today we are going over my habit trackers for the first quarter of the year. So we'll be reviewing quarter one, so the first 3 months of the year, and then we'll be setting up my habit trackers for the next quarter of the year, so April, May, June. In the end of March, I kind of fell off a little bit because of the way that things were set up in my habit tracker. I needed some changes. So for example, so this is my habit tracker notebook. I'm using a traveler's notebook because I thought that would be obviously the easiest, the lightest, the most portable, and obviously fit in my bag. And because of like the space, like I'm just tracking habits. That's all I'm doing with this journal. So I didn't want it to be intimidating to get into. So I just did like a cover page with some quotes to inspire me. This one's my favorite. People do not decide their futures. They decide their habits, and their habits decide their futures. So anytime I'm kind of feeling a little bit like meh, I like to read this. It doesn't always work, but it does help sometimes. And I did do a blue theme just because the book is blue. So what I was saying, so I kind of fell off a little bit in tracking at the end of March. Some of these trackers didn't work for me closer to the end of the quarter. I wanted to track different things, and my life is changing, especially as the seasons change. So I added in this flap. This is tracking my journaling, and then in a different way because I do have an evening tracker for journaling over here, but I just needed it to be a little bit different. And then also what time I wake up and what time I go to bed because of daylight savings time. I needed that data to be able to kind of track my goals and track my habits and encourage myself to wake up earlier and get to bed on time to fix my sleep schedule after daylight savings time. Last year, when daylight savings time in the spring happened, like I was really on point with my morning routines and my morning meditation last January, February, March, and then as soon as daylight savings time hit, like my energy was really low and it knocked me out of my habits and my routines for closer to like a month or a month and a half, and I really didn't want that to happen this year. So I was like, okay, what can I do to set myself up so that daylight savings time doesn't hurt me as much as it did last year? So anyway, so in today's video, we're just gonna go over all my habit trackers. These are the ones I have here. I have my morning meditation, morning routine, journaling, waking up early, going to bed early, morning yoga, evening yoga, my step tracker, active minutes, skincare, no spend, evening meditation, evening journal, tracking my fast food, limiting my junk, my reading tracker, which as you can see I fell off, stopped tracking my pages, my hobbies, which are definitely changing from like winter hobbies to spring hobbies, so this key needs to change a little bit. We've got something private over here. My spirituality tracker, I canceled it back in February and made a new one over here. And I fell off again because it just wasn't quite what I needed. This is my week 2 review and my evening routine and chore tracker. And we've got like how I felt this was kind of like an experimentation. So then I have, so this is going to be my quarter review. I'm just going to write out stream of conscious how I feel about the last quarter, and then I'm going to actually write what I've accomplished, so all my stats, so that when I go into the next quarter I can actually say what my goals are. I can be a little bit more concrete with that. And then we're going to set up my new trackers. So I have them all on sticky notes so that I know where I'm putting everything. I did write the days of the week and the numbers of the weeks for quarter 2, just because there are a lot of trackers I'm doing and I don't want to be sitting here forever and take up your guys' time and have to edit a lot. So that part's already done for us. We just need to label them, give ourselves a goal, and give ourselves a key. So we'll be doing all of that together. I've been looking forward to filming this video all of March because when I first set up my habit trackers in the beginning of the year, this is the first time that I've ever like laid it out in this way. So I definitely knew that it was gonna be like a first draft. I knew that I needed like some time to figure out how I wanted to track my habits in this way. Normally I would do it digitally. I've also used my bulletin board to track my habits, but nothing's really stuck. Like I've done so many different types of habit tracking in the past like 10 years that I find like every time I get into a rut with my habits and like being in a routine, changing the way that I track my habits always makes me more motivated and inspired and helps me to actually do the habit and not just have the habit tracker and check off boxes and do nothing with it, because there is a reason why I'm tracking all this data. I want to be able to review the last quarter, write down my stats, like whatever goals I hit. I didn't really make any like specific like quantified goals in the beginning because this was like my first time kind of setting it up this way, just giving myself a trial run. But it's exciting time now because now I get to see all my stats for the last 3 months before going into the next quarter, so I get to actually set some quantifiable goals. So I'm really excited to get into this. Okay, so there is my review for quarter one. So now I'm gonna go in and I'm just gonna kind of pull some stats from some of these. So I've already done so on a post-it note to make it a little bit easier, go a little bit quicker here. So my main stat that I'm really proud about, the thing is okay, so for my morning meditation, it looks like I filled in a lot of dots of color. So gray means that I didn't meditate, and it looks like I meditated a lot more than I actually did, which is nice. Like it's a good incentive. But so they were 88 days in this period here, in this quarter, and I counted all of the dots that have a color other than gray, because gray obviously means I didn't do anything. And there are 53 days that I meditated out of 88 days. And for some reason, I feel like I could have done better, but that's actually a lot of days when you think about it. So I want to write that down. I want to acknowledge it. I want to say that I'm proud that I did that. And it's definitely nice to have something that I can quantify. Also with my morning routine, so there's a lot of yellows here. So yellow means 10 points. So I got a perfect morning, or a good, it just means that I did all the things that I wanted to do in the morning. And I got 45 perfect mornings. So 45 out of 88, that's like half. And when you put it into percentage, like 50%, it kind of makes me a little bit mad. I'm not gonna lie that I only got 50%, but that's why we're doing these stats, so that next time in the next quarter, I can be like, well, I want 60%, because that's even a good improvement, right? So instead of 45 days, I can do 50 days, right? So at least it's just a little bit of an improvement. So I'm just going to go write some of these stats down and see if I can make it kind of pretty. Okay, so now I'm going to do my quarter 2 goals. So same thing, I'll do stream of conscious on the side here about my goals for the next quarter, and then on the side I'll put like actual tangible quantifiable like goals and numbers of the amount of days I want to do certain things. Okay, so we have our little stream of conscious goals and intentions for quarter 2. I want to do, like I said, my little day stats here, but I don't really like how this one looks. I think it's a little bit too random, and I wanted it to be like colorful boxes. So I might try to find some stickers and put those down first, and then write my goals in the stickers, and then maybe I can like do a little checkbox next to them and check them off if I've accomplished them at the end of the quarter. So let's try that. Let's see what I have. Okay, so I have this sticker book, which is a bunch of like watercolor stuff, and it has these watercolor stickers at the back. Now some of these are definitely going to be too big, but they're like transparent, so they're pretty cool. There's some smaller ones here. I don't think I'll be able to fit them all, and I feel like I have more than 10 goals, or maybe I will have more than 10. But they're pretty cute, transparent, and they'll go on. I'm thinking I'll have to use a certain pen on top of these though, so it doesn't squish. Like, I think I might have to go with the white background so that my pen will work on them. But there's tons here, and they're super pretty. But then I also have this one's a little bit more bland, and I don't know if I like it, but this sticker book has a bunch of squares, so I could do it this way. Maybe I would not put the yellow ones in, but all the other ones are kind of like neutral, so they're not even that colorful. I'm not sure. Why is it so hard to find stickers that we like, you know? Like, it's like there's always something wrong with the stickers I have. They just don't go with my colors, or they're just not the right size. I really need to start making my own stickers more, but I mean, maybe I could use some of these boxes here. Yeah, okay, so we're gonna try for a mix and see how it goes. Okay, so now for the fun part. Now I get to make all of the trackers for my goals for quarter 2. So we're gonna start with my wake up time and my bedtime. So I'm just gonna use a 5 size of the micron and then a 1 size of the micron. So just a bigger one and then a smaller one. I'm gonna write what the tracker is tracking, and then underneath I'll write what my goal is. So waking up early, I am gonna refer to how I set this one up. So I don't think you can really see that. So my goal was to wake up before 5:30. Typically now I wake up around 5, and sometimes I wake up before 4:45. I know it's a little crazy, but like I need to get my day started. So I do want to put in my key that I want to be able to mark off if I woke up before 4:45. I really liked the colors I used here, and I mean, I know what this means, but this is just the weekend. So like if it was a Monday and I put yellow, that means it was before 5:30. But if it was the weekend and it was a Sunday and I put purple, that means it was before 7. All of this is before. I just don't want to draw the little like before sign over and over again because it just looks messy and I know what it means. Okay, so in the bold font, I'm gonna write wake up early. And then my goal is gonna be before what did I put here? (5:30, 5:45). So I'm gonna say before 5:30. Oh, no, before 5:15 on weeknights and before 7 on weekends. And then I'm gonna put the key here. Did I put the key for everything? I don't think I always wrote like the word key. I didn't always write the word key, but I know this is the key, so I'm actually not gonna write the word key just to make it a little bit neater. So I want gray for everything on here. I want gray. Every tracker is going to be like gray is going to be either 0 or I didn't track, don't remember. It's fine if we miss a day. It's not a big deal. So I think I'll put gray and say didn't track. And then I'll go before 4:45. Okay, yes. So my dot for my key will go here. So we'll say this is number 1, right? So didn't track. Before 4:45, 5, 5:15, 5:30, 5:45. We'll go up to 6, I think. Because I feel like if I wake up after 6, I didn't wake up early. So I didn't do it. So we'll go to 6. And then on the weekends, because I know what this means. See, because usually I do want to wake up before 7. I want it to match. So, what did I do here? Because I did to 6. So 5:30, 6:30, 5:45, 6:45. So I just did an hour later. Yeah, okay. So we'll do, 5:45. Let's just do 6. 6 here. 6:15, 6:30, 6:45, and 7, because if I wake up after 7, I didn't wake up early. So For the colors, like I said, I really like how I did the colors here. Yellow to me, whenever I'm tracking something, always means that not only did I hit my goal, I went above and beyond. So I did more than my goal. So I actually woke up earlier than I wanted to. So that's going to be for the 4:45. Although I do have 2 yellows. I want to swatch the yellows. Here, we'll swatch on the back here. Because if the yellows are too similar, then I won't want to use both of them. But if they're distinct enough and it looks good, then I might. So that dot there, I don't think you definitely can't see that. I'll show you in a second. And then that yellow, yeah, so it is very distinct, but almost to the point where like it's kind of redundant to have the one on the top because it's so not visible. Like the other yellow almost looks orange in comparison. So I'm gonna not use that yellow. Okay, so I need to use a different one. I have pinks over here that I want to use. So we'll do pink and yellow and the light purple and the light blue. And we need how many? 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Okay, I need 2 more. Damn. Okay, 2 more. I don't want to do a green. I said before I don't want to do a green. It needs to be like in the same color scheme. I guess I can do another pink. Let's see what these pinks look like. Where did I swatch that at the back? So I have 2 pinks here. So I have this pink and I have this pink. And this one's lighter. So, okay, I might use 2 pinks, but that's still 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but I need 6. Okay, fine. We'll use the other yellow. Okay, so I'm gonna go with the bright yellow and go 4:45. Hopefully this works. I hate like messing things up. I always get nervous that I'm like, oh, am I not gonna like it? And then we can do the light pink. And then the darker pink. And then purple. And the blue. Okay, I actually like the way that looks. It sucks that I don't have like colors that are more cohesive. But so that's what it's gonna look like. So that's my little color code spot there. So that's one done. Oh, I need to do the gray dot. So didn't track is gray. It doesn't always look that gray. Sometimes it like looks blue until it fully dries. Okay, anyways. So, okay, same thing again down here. I can put my goal up here that I want to go to bed early. So my goal over here, so bed early. That's all I'll say. That's all I need to say. And I'll put that my goal is before 9:30. On weeknights, I'm not gonna do, I don't know, did I do a weekend thing? No, I didn't do a weekend thing. Okay, I just want to know if I went to bed before 9:30. I did it in 20-minute intervals here. I might just do like before 9, before 9:15, before 9:30, before 9:45, before 10. But technically, if I went to bed before 10, then I didn't go to bed early enough. So I still want to track it though. Okay, so let me just go line it up here so I didn't track. And then I went to bed before, let's go 9, 9:15, 9:30, 9:45, and 10. And then I won't track after that. So then that means I can go 1, 2, 3, 5. So that means I can omit the blue. I'm gonna omit the blue. 1, 2, 4, 5. I don't know. I don't know. Fine, maybe we'll use the blue because I don't really like the light yellow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, maybe I don't have to use the yellow. Okay, let's do it this way. So yellow, and then light pink. And then purple and blue. The blue kind of looks like it doesn't belong, you know, but it's okay. And then gray for didn't track. Perfect. Okay, I like the space that we're moving, the speed that we're moving along. This is going to be my key for my evening routine. So basically I put all the things that I want to do before bed, potentially, because there's no way I'm doing everything before bed. That's just too much. And gave them points based on like how easy they are, how hard they are, how much energy they take up, and how much I want to do them, how much I'm going to get rewarded if I do them. And I put them into like a point system. So then all that I have to do on the side here is do how many points I got. And I think I'm just going to track it by 5. So last time I did it, this is my point system, and I kind of like, you know, edited it a bit. And I did 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. If I added all of these together, I should probably have at least like something on there to indicate that I did everything, even though that's not like realistic. So for now, let's just start with my morning routine. I want to give myself an extra point if I use my egg chair in the morning, journaled in my egg chair. I think that because for my morning routine last quarter, I did 5 things for 2 points each, and then a perfect morning would be 10 points. But I wanted to give myself an extra thing to do in the morning as like a little bit of leeway, so I could do these 5 or those 5, or like any combination there. And I think that my 6th one at the bottom is going to be that I sat in my egg chair. So I don't know if I want to space. So the thing is, for this one, I'm not going to put a gray dot because I see how I put a gray dot here. I'm not going to put a gray dot because no matter what, I always fill up my water bottle in the morning. So bare minimum, it would be 2 points. So actually maybe the 2 points will be gray because I don't like the green, how the green looks there. But I also don't want to do the same colors. Okay. There's a lot to think about when we're doing this. So let's just start with morning routine. And then my goal, and then we'll go okay. My morning routine is, so get 10 points. So 10 points for a perfect morning. And we're going to spell things wrong, and that's fine. I don't care. Okay. Morning does not have 2 N's in it, by the way. Okay. And then, so I'm going to write 2 points, 4, 6, 8, 10, and then 2 points each. Okay, So I know, like, how many? 3? 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 points, 4 points. 10 points, and then we'll go 2 points. We'll go. So last time I did turning on my space heater, because I do yoga in the morning, and during the winter, if I turn on my space heater, it's kind of like doing hot yoga. I mean, it's not, because it doesn't heat up my room fast enough. I'm usually like done yoga by the time, or I'm like worked up a sweat by the time the room heats up. But because I'm going into the spring and summer, I'm not going to need to turn on the heater. So I think I'm going to do wake up early, fill water, meditate, affirmation, yoga, journal, and egg chair. I think I want to I think I want to do like a signifier if I do the egg chair. So maybe I'll do like a line through it for egg chair. Okay. Let's do that then. I think I'd like to do that. So, wake early. Fill water. And this is kind of like in order too. Meditate. And affirm. And then yoga. And journal. Okay, but then it's gonna be awkward if I am gonna do it this way. I'm just gonna go egg chair because I'm gonna get more points if I use my egg chair, and that will entice me. So if for whatever reason I don't want to meditate that day, but I journal in my egg chair, then it's adding the points. Or if I don't wake up early enough, I don't know, we'll see. Because if I don't wake up early and I still use my egg chair, like, I still get points. So, okay. What are my colors for this one? I'm definitely going to change them from before, but I still want 10 points to be yellow. I don't want to do blue and green. Okay. We're not doing blue and green. We're doing purple? Pinks? I'm too much like of a pink person. I don't have enough shades of pink. Okay. So 10 points is yellow. Is 8 points light yellow? I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4. I feel like 2 points should be gray. Because over here... No, because gray, I didn't even fill up my water. Yeah, but there was only 2 days. No morning routine at all. I can't function without a morning routine. Okay, so I decided that I'm gonna use my mild liner, the tip at the end, for a dot on my morning routine. This one, it's still fine, but it's not as fine as the click art pen, so it should be a little bit easier to draw circles. And I am gonna use the gray for 2 points, so we'll go gray, and then purple, and then this purple, which I'll just go like that, and then pink and yellow. Hopefully I like that. I think I will. Hopefully I'm just using yellows anyway. I put my point system on a card, and I want to do the corners. There we go. And so then when it pops out, it's gonna be like that. But I think I'm gonna have to cut all of this off and then just have like a tab here. So I'm gonna bring it down a little bit. I'm just gonna mark it with a pencil here, because how much room do I need? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, I have plenty. Okay, I have plenty of room. So move it over. I definitely want it to be like on my notebook like this and taped in like that. So let's put it on the line and then it'll open up and I'll cut it to here. Okay, so I made a little tab here. I just hope that this is enough to make it stay. I guess I just have to be a little bit careful with it. Okay, and then I'm going to put a piece of tape. And just before I stick it on, I'm going to do my key here. So my goal is to get, so last time I had my goal to get 10 points. That's good. Okay, so I'm gonna try to get over 20 points. So more than 20 points. And we'll go like 3 times a week, which is probably doable, but I don't always track my evening routine, so I just want to give myself like an easier goal so that it's more motivating for me. And then I'm gonna go make sure it's lined up. 5 points, 10, 15, 20, maybe I'll do like 45 plus 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Like maybe I'll go up to 50. 45. I'll go up to 50, and if I really do need more room, maybe I can add 55, 60. I don't know how much this is all going to be, but at the same time, there's no way that I'm doing everything in a night anyway, especially on a weeknight, and that's when I would be sort of like tracking my goal is on a weeknight. Okay, so let's stick that down and hope that it works so that when I close my journal, open my journal, open the key, yeah, it's a little bit flimsy. Okay, maybe I could have done with more, but I think I will be just very gentle with it. Okay, and if it breaks, it breaks, and I can just make a new one. Okay, so I really like that. This one, so for the colors for this one, it's definitely going to be a rainbow because I tend to, I'm very color oriented. You guys will learn this about me. I tend to like stay away from the reds and oranges, and I like being in the blues and the purples. So if I have a red and orange up here and blue and purple up here, it's like a little bit more of an incentive to kind of like get my points so that I can make it look pretty. So not that it would look ugly with red and orange. So red, orange, yellow, green, green, blue, blue, purple, purple, purple potentially. I have 3 blues, but I'm gonna use 2. Okay, so let's just gather the pens that I need for this one. Please don't break. I probably should have done it a little bit thicker, especially because it needs to last me for 3 months, but there it is. Okay. So I'll need this one. Oh, should I do a pink? Red, orange, should I do a pink? No, because then I will want to use it, and I don't want to do it like that. So blue, we can use that blue. We can use yellow, red, orange. How many do I have? 1, 2, 3. Oh, because I need gray for like didn't track. I didn't put that up there first. It's okay. So I'll go gray and say didn't track. So red, orange, yellow, red, orange, yellow, green. Do we want to do 2 greens? Green. Maybe I'll do this green. So, and this blue and a dark blue. And then, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 50. Okay. I'm gonna go from the top down. Okay, perfect. So there's the colors there. And there's my morning routine. That little mild liner dot looks a little bit weird, but hopefully I'll get better at doing those little circles. I do like the color. And that's what we have for the first couple of trackers. So moving on. This one is going to be such a mess. I'm like dreading this. Okay, we can do this. So now I want to track my yoga. So every morning, I'm a morning person. So I do my workouts in the morning and I have the most energy and I have the most time in the morning. But there's so many things that I want to track when it comes to my exercise. So this is going to be interesting, but stick with me. So we've got a couple of notes for my trackers here. So let me just get organized here, and I'm going to put these on this side so that it makes more sense for me. So this is going to be morning yoga, and this is going to be like the type of yoga I did. So whether I did my own thing or I did a video, this one is going to be how much time I did during yoga for the morning. This one is going to be evening yoga. So the type of yoga I did in the evening, and then how much time I did in the evening for yoga. So starting with my headers. Oh, actually, I also wanted to highlight these. So with this, I'm gonna go wake up early. And morning routine. And then purple. Bed early. And evening routine. There we go. Okay. All right. Now we do these ones. So morning yoga. Okay. So for morning yoga time, I'm going to do minimum 10 minutes. I kind of want to do, okay, let's do 6 times per week. Okay, so as long as I hit 10 minutes every morning. And then AM yoga, like I literally just want to do yoga every day. My goal would be, what did I put for this? 5 minutes a day, 2 videos a week. Okay, that makes sense. I want to say So one yin and one yoga lari yang. I would say one yang each week. So yin, so like just a stretch and mobility, and then yang, so like more of like a Pilates or like yoga lattes type of class or power yoga type per week. And then for evening yoga, I want to use my yoga swing 3 times a week. And I want to do at least like one 45-minute session a week. 1 45-minute session per week. Okay, so that's how I will track that. So for my first tracker here, I want to track. Oh, I also want to know if I used my yoga journal. Okay, I need to have a gray spot for didn't do yoga. So I'm going to put 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to put no yoga, and that'll be gray. And then I want to know if I did a Boho Beautiful video, a Move with Nicole video, somatic yoga, or if I did, I'll say my power. That's a good way to phrase it, because normally I say, oh, like I just did my own thing, but somatic, I'm still doing my own thing, but it's more yin, and then my power, so I like that. And then I want to know if I used my swing, and that's just going to be a simple U. And I want to know if I used my journal. So let's go actually Pilates. And then use journal. And that's going to be, it's going to be this. And then I'm going to just do literally a stick for a handstand, because that's makes the most sense to me, is that I did a handstand. Okay, I like that. So for this one, I want to do, I know, pink, purple, yellow. I'm gonna do definitely pink and purple and yellow, and I'm gonna use my mild liner too, and yellow. Okay, so what did I do for this one? I think I did Boho Beautiful videos were yellow, but I don't know if I'll do that this time. I think I will do that my power class is yellow, and then maybe my Move with Nicole will be purple. Boho Beautiful will be pink, and then I'll use this one for somatic yoga. Okay. Hopefully that'll work. Like it, I dig it. Okay, moving on. So for yoga time, I want to do 5, 10, 15, 20. 25, 30, 35, 40. And then I'm going to be also tracking if I'm using my weights. So I have 2 pounds, 5 pounds, and 12-pound dumbbells. And then I have resistant bands and ankle weights. So I want to make sure that I can track that. The thing about this one too is I also want to track whether I got active minutes. So if I did 40 minutes of yoga, but I got like 10 active minutes, then that's obviously yin. But I want to like be able to like start it if I got more than, or if I hit my goal of 30 active minutes. So I'm like, should I start here or should I start here? This one's going to be a little bit easier, so let me figure out this one. So we're going to do no yoga. So if I use all of them, it's gonna make a box and then an X. So I probably won't use all of them in one go. Like I'll probably just do like a Pilates session, which is 2 pounds, and then the next day maybe I'll do Pilates, but then at the end of it I'll use my 12 pounds for an exercise or two. I don't like using, I know I'm so weird, the term like strength training, because I'm doing yoga, and then after my yoga workout or power yoga workout, however you want to put it, I'll do some weights. So I want to include it in my yoga tracker. Okay, and then evening yoga. So actually, no, we gotta color this. I need my gray pen for both of these. And then do I want to do a rainbow? I think I'm going to do a rainbow. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, pink. I think I do want to do 5 minutes pink because, again, like I said, I like using pink, so that'll entice me like at least 5 minutes of yoga, girl. Like, okay. I don't know if I want to use red. Pink, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. Let's see. I'm gonna probably use both pinks, so I'm gonna go light pink, dark pink, and then red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. I don't really want to use red, orange, or yellow. So again, I'm actually going to use my mild liners for this. So I'll use my red because it's not as red. I'm going to have to leave it out then so that I can remind myself. I want to double check this color. This specific shade of orange. Okay, yeah. Orange. And then maybe we'll do a light yellow. Keep it light. And then blue, green. So go and then purple. Okay, perfect. So we got a little tiny rainbow going on there. We love a rainbow. Okay, so moving on to my evening yoga. This one's a little bit easier. Again, I'm gonna start with the no yoga. Okay, this one's pretty simple. This one's just tracking whether or not I used my yoga swing. And I'm gonna go yin. This is definitely opposite. I definitely did purple for yin before. Yin and yang. Yeah, I definitely did that backwards. That's okay. Yin, yang, yin, yang. That's okay. I'll just have to remember that it is opposite from last time, which might mess me up. So if it messes me up, I'll switch it, but okay. And then evening yoga time, I'm probably just gonna use the same scale here. I don't really want to like, I guess I can rewrite it. Yeah, it'll look a lot better if I just rewrite it. So definitely happy with how it turned out, and I'm excited to use them. So moving on, we have so many to have to get through. Okay, so next one is morning meditation, evening meditation, and then my spirituality tracker, which is like this. It's gonna look like, and my morning meditation. So just how many minutes I did. I'm just copying from here. Okay, so I meditate in the morning, but I don't do well with meditating in the evening. But one thing that I want to get better at is if I didn't meditate in the morning, I want to meditate in the evening, even if it's just like 2 minutes, or like popping on like a 5-minute video, like something small, or like even just taking like 10 deep breaths, like just something small and mindful, even if I just do it sitting up in bed. I think the colors for this is going to be the same for both, but I'm just gonna write them twice just so that it makes more sense. I'm gonna do it in increments of 2 because my yearly meditation tracker is boxes, like each box represents 2 minutes. So just to make it easier to track. And then if I do need more room, I can just add some. So 0 minutes is obviously going to be gray. So you can see that like me using yellow, most of the time yellow is to signify that I hit my goal. And usually, or I guess before I was tracking this way, I would use purple as, you know, I did the bare minimum for my goal. Okay, so I like the way that is. Let's move on to spirituality. So this one's gonna look like this one, where I have certain set of points. Oh, so it's like almost exactly that. Okay, great. So I have to change it. Maybe I'll do it the same. And I have like 10 things that make me feel closer to like my spiritual side, or make me like feel connected to my soul. And if I do all those 10 things, like I had like a spiritual day or like a spiritual routine. And see, the one thing is like I don't like, I'm not going to be drinking tea in the warmer ones, so I have to figure out something else because I don't want this to be 9 points. But then I also have bonus points, so if I did something spiritual in the morning and in the evening, I get extra points. If I did like my moon journaling or tarot journaling, or if I listened to like, if I read like a nonfiction spiritual book, if I pulled like an oracle card, I want to know. So this one is just a little bit interesting because I'm gonna have to have the key up here and have what the points are, and not have the key down here and not like rewrite it twice. The next two trackers I have are my morning journal and my evening journal. For my morning journal, I'm just tracking if I used my stream of conscious journal. I didn't set a daily goal because I don't always have time in my morning routine, but I want to know if I was able to write 1 page, 2 pages, or 3 pages. As the weather gets nicer, I'm hoping to write outside at least 2 times a week, so I added signifiers to mark off if I journaled outside, in the living room on the couch, or in my chair in my yoga room. For my evening tracker, I'm using this to track if I have filled in this journal as well as my 5-year journal and my 10-year journal. Ideally, I would like to do all 3 of those each night, but that can be challenging. So I just did a purple dot to say that I did all 3 journals, and then a different kind of purple dot if I was able to journal in my stream of conscious journal as well. For my signifiers, I'm still using whether I journaled outside on the couch or in my egg chair, while also adding a check mark if I journaled both in the morning and in the evening. The next trackers are to track my skincare routine in the morning and in the evening. For this one, I just did another point system to make it easier because there are many steps in my skincare routine and I don't have to do all of them every day. I might wash my face and then use moisturizer in the morning, and then before bed just use serum and a moisturizer or an acne treatment if I need it. So each step in my skincare routine is worth 1 point, and then I'm just marking off how many points I got. I also have signifiers here for my skincare machine that has the LED lights, or if I used my ice roller or my gua sha. And then the next tracker I have is for my reading, hobbies, and my no spend, and then a personal one at the top, which I'll be filling in off camera. For my reading tracker, I want to know if I read over 50 pages, 100, 150, or more than 200 pages. I also want to know if I finished a book, if I read an audiobook, and if I was able to read for 30 minutes before bed. I'm also giving myself a color to say that I did read, but I'm not sure how many pages because sometimes I just don't have time to track. But my goal for this is just to read 30 minutes before bed 3 to 4 times a week. I would love to be able to set a goal of reading 100 pages a day, but my current lifestyle doesn't allow for that right now. I mean, maybe if I get more time in the future, that would be a fun goal to go for. But for now, I'm just trying to read before bed as much as I can throughout the week. And the next tracker I have is for my hobbies. As we're moving into the warmer months, I'm adding in gardening. And last summer I had fun with sitting outside, listening to an audiobook, and making bracelets. So I added that as one of my hobbies. I don't think I'll be crocheting much until next winter, but I wanted to add it on here just in case I do crochet. And then the next tracker I have is my no spending tracker. I did really well with this last time, so I'm just doing the same layout, which is tracking if I spent money and trying to stick to my goal of only making personal purchases on Sundays. And then I do have a color to signify if I did buy out of Sundays or if I bought something impulsively or overspent on something impulsively. Moving on to my walking in steps tracker, the only thing I was missing in my tracker for this in Q1 was that I couldn't mark off if I got 500 steps more than the actual goal. So it was just a signifier that said more than 4,000 steps or more than 5,000 steps. But now if I draw a line, it means that I did more than 4,000 but hit the 500 mark. Instead of having all the colors go up by 500 steps, which is just too much, I don't have enough room for that, I just use this to signify. But the other signifiers I have are if I walked on my walking pad, walked on my lunch break at work, went for a hike, or did a Grow with Joe walking workout. And then the tracker below that one is for my active minutes. So my Fitbit will track if my heart rate was elevated during a workout, and I typically like to get about 20 to 30 minutes 4 times a week. I also put that I want to do a dance workout once a week, and my key is just going to go up by 5. And I'm going to put gray for less than 10 minutes, and then it'll make a rainbow. The next tracker on the top right is for my intentional meals. I really wanted to reframe eating healthy in a way that was helpful and quantifiable for me by number of meals. So I put intentional meals because it means that I purposefully packed this breakfast or lunch for myself for work, and I purposefully planned this dinner for myself. It means that I thought of myself ahead of time and made sure that I had access to a healthy meal the following day. This used to be my fast food tracker, but I was actually really good at my goal of keeping it to only having fast food on Fridays, so I wanted to add in another level to this tracker so that it wasn't only applicable for Fridays. I have a signifier for myself that if I did eat fast food, I will just draw a line. And then the tracker on the bottom is just to help me track if I had junk food in the evenings. So chips or popcorn or chocolate, and then I'm aiming for a few no junk days per week. And if I do have chips or popcorn or chocolate, I want to portion it out. So having a small bowl instead of just eating out of the bag. And that's it for my tracker. So here is just a flip through. I know this video was really long. I really appreciate you sticking with me to the end. If you learned anything or if you're adapting anything into your own tracker, definitely let me know in the comments below. And if you made it this far, leave me a blue heart emoji. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye!